you got into the business, or it was something you really got involved after you got in the business?
To be honest with you, I started training because I wanted to look like a wrestler, because I wanted to be a wrestler. And I thought that the first thing that I need to do is look the part, which kind of goes ignored these days. I'm not even going to get started on that right now.
That's right.
But, before getting in, what's that?
Preach it, brother.
Oh.
Guys, hold that thought. We're going to be going to a commercial. We will be right back with the Mega Powers 2.0 and Atlas and the Pharaoh. See you in a second.
That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All righty, we are back with Long Island's '1 pro wrestling broadcast with Atlas and the Pharaoh, normally Monty and the Pharaoh, and our special guest, Mega Powers 2.0. Take it away, Mach. Where was we? Take it back.
Well, as far as my working out, man, I'm going to make it real simple. Basically, I try to keep it intense, man. It ain't about, I don't go super heavy, because honestly, I'm not that strong. I look a lot stronger than I am. What I do is I do a lot of drop sets. I do a lot of supersets. I'll do a lot of giant sets. And for those out there that don't know what that is, Google it. Yeah. No, but basically what it is, drop sets is like, you do, as many as you can with a certain weight. Let's say 100, you know what I mean? Whatever your, a chest press machine, whatever, right? 100 pounds, you do as many as you can until failure. Then you drop it down to like 70 pounds. Mm-hmm. You do it again until you just, you're not even counting at this point. You're just going until you can't
failure.
Go.
Yeah.
And then you drop it down again. Yeah, pyramids is another, you go up and then you go down. So I do things like that, man. I hardly ever do just straight sets.
Who got you into business? Who trained you?
I was originally...
And what year was it?
It was 1997. And I was working at a gym. And I was introduced to a guy that was an independent wrestler. He went by the name Shark Attack Kid back in the day.
Okay.
New York guy. I'm originally from New York. This was in Westchester County, where I'm originally from. And he, my boss introduced me to him. And I just, hey, man, would you train me, man? It's something I wanted to do my whole life. And thank God he said yes, because it was all, it changed my life. And next thing you know, man, I was, I had my first match the next year, 1998. And I wrestled probably about 15 years before I kind of called it quits, or my back called it quits for me.
Well, I'm sure both of y'all got asked this question a million times, because I have. Who was your favorite wrestler to wrestle? I get asked that all the time.
To wrestle.
Who was yours, Hogan?
Wow. That's a tough one. There's been so many.
Because there's so many good
The ones that
wrestlers.
stand out is anytime I was in a tag match against Jimmy Cornette and the Midnight Express.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, I
Nice.
wrestled every combination through the years of the Express.
Sure.
Stan Lane and
Condrey.
and Bobby.
And of
were-
course, Bobby.
So you would say that was your
that was my favorite. My
Favorite-
favorite individual was probably Barry Windham.
Barry Windham.
Nice.
Wow. What about you, Mancho?
Well, you may not remember this, Tony, but I've wrestled you, brother.
Get out of town,
I have
Tony.
wrestled you for Gino Caruso's ECPW. And I got pictures, brother. Vic Divine is the name that I used to wrestle under.
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Yeah. It's my other persona.
I didn't recognize it with the gimmick.
Right.
Somebody else was telling me that they worked me. I've been around longer than dirt.
Yeah, look at
If
that.
you would have, either one of y'all would have a choice right now to wrestle, let's say for a particular company, like if you had a choice even to go to the AEW or go to WWE, first of all, which company will you pick and why? And secondly, if you did, who would you like to wrestle in the company? Because who you think is the best worker? Because it's all about work.
Right.
If y'all could kind of figure out what I'm trying to ask you.
But before you answer that, do you guys even watch today's current product? I'm just curious because a lot of guys don't.
I do not.
don't.
No,
I don't. Nope.
Yes.
you do.
I do.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I'm a fan first.
Right, I understand.
Once a
that.
fan,
Yeah.
always a fan.
Oh yeah.
So,
can't be a fan and not watch it.
what company would you, if you had a choice
You
between
prefer
the two?
Vince or Tony Khan right now?
Right now, Tony Khan, AEW.
Interesting.
Reason
Okay.
being is, first of all, there's so many skinny little guys there. Okay.
Okay.
That if I put on another 25 pounds,
You'll
where
wipe
it
the
should
floor
be
with all of them.
back
Right,
in the day,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of old school, but whatever old school type wrestling is, you see it once in a while.
They have more of
AEW,
it than
yeah.
what Vince is offering.
Yeah, and
I
who
got
would
you.
I want to wrestle there would probably be Jericho.
Chris
Because
Jericho.
he has been everywhere.
He's so great.
He's done everything.
He's great.
He's old, like me. He can still go. He
Jericho.
still knows how to sell tickets.
Right.
That's the kind of guy that I'd like to be under the learning tree with.
Right.
Fantastic. What about you, Mancho?
Well, the first part of that question is which.
Vince or Tony Khan?
Well, I'm not gonna hop on a sinking ship. Let's just say that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Vince. I'm talking to you, man. I'm talking to Titanic, and it's going down. Yeah, it is. But it's right. I'm telling you right now to your face, man.
Mach, can you elaborate on that? Why do you feel that the WWE is the Titanic? Please explain.
Well, I mean, first of all, when you got competition out there and you don't admit to having competition,
Okay.
and then you get rid of your best guys.
Oh, like
when-
Daniel Bryan, and then
Right.
bringing back CM Punk, and Bray Wyatt is suddenly like looking for work, and Braun Strowman, and
Right.
yeah, go on.
That is not a smart business move, and I don't need to tell a millionaire, the greatest, mind in the business ever,
Right.
but something is not right.
Yeah.
He's making some really poor decisions, and that ship is sinking.
Hmm.
And AEW is, going to capitalize on that. And so if I was an active wrestler, I would want to be over at AEW, and I'd probably like to, I don't watch the product, so I don't know a whole lot of people
Right.
over there, but CM Punk, because I do believe, and I have wrestled CM Punk because I was down at OVW.
Right.
And I actually had he was the OVW champion, and I had a match with him, and it was for the title. So I got me a title shot.
Versus CM Punk.
And
Very
he didn't,
nice.
he got lucky is what happened.
Of course. Of
But
course.
right there, man, I mean, that's my decision. I would go to
Right.
AEW, I would wrestle CM Punk, and then I would be the best in the world.
Nice. Look, well, I got all you guys here, and you guys were talking about weightlifting before, because I'm
Right.
surrounded by guns with my water pistols over here. But I wanted to know. Wrestling calls for a lot of agility. Wrestling calls for a lot of flexibility. You had one of the best damn drop kicks I've ever seen. How do you ride that line? Because weightlifting's about bulking up. How do you ride that line and keeping and maintaining your athleticism that you need in the ring? Is there a fine line there? Did you ever get a little too big where you're like, wow, I got to pull back because I can't do some of my moves? Did any of that stuff ever come across for any of
Well,
you?
no, it's not. The weights have nothing to do with it. You see, and Moncho will tell you the same thing. Every individual is different. You either flexible or you're not.
Okay.
Some people got flexibility. You take like getting away from just the muscle. You take like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh my God!
You know,
Yeah.
come on. Here's a big old guy.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin
I mean,
Owens,
when you look
yeah.
at these guys, the last thing you expect Bam Bam to come off that top
True.
rope.
Okay.
You know, King Kong Bundy. People say you pressed him. I said I told Vince Senior. I said no. He jumped. All I do was just follow him. So it's got nothing to do with. The Moncho may have a different perspective on it, but as far as I have seen, I don't think it had anything to do
Didn't
with
affect at all.
Right, you either got that ability in you, or you don't.
Right.
Because I know people that don't have no muscles that can't move.
Right. And, if you don't if you don't stretch and you don't
That's right, yeah.
work on your flexibility, it doesn't matter how big you are.
No.
Honestly, because here the British Bulldog's a great example.
Yeah.
He was jacked.
Yes.
Yeah.
That dude could move.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was a cruiserweight.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
He was so flexible and could his moves are so explosive.
Yeah.
And you see even some of the tiny guys now that are 160 pounds that can't even do what he
Yeah.
can do.
Like Mark Henry slam dumping a basketball.
Right.
I mean, who
Right.
expect a 400-pound man to slam dunk a
Yes.
basketball,
Right.
you know?
Right. I'm going to ask you guys one at a time. Randy, how do you feel about today's smaller wrestlers winning world heavyweight titles?
I think it is. I think Satan's taken over.
Man,
Okay,
we're getting all biblical now.
brother. He's taken over. Okay, and he's trying to change. He's trying to ruin our business.
How dare he?
It took a lot of years for us
What is this?
from Luthez
Okay.
and Carl Gotch and Mr. USA Tony Atlas, guys like that who built on the business
Right.
and made it professional wrestling.
Right.
Now they're trying to take it away. You got a bunch of 160-pound kids doing all kinds of acrobatics. Nobody's got a finishing hold because everybody kicks out of everybody else's finishing
Right.
hold. Okay,
Right.
I'm telling you, there's a force trying to take over, but we're not going to let them.
That's right.
Macho Madness and Randomania.
Know Vince, not as well as he think I know him. Because when you are underdog, people will say things to you and do things in front of you because they got no fear of you having any type of retaliation against them. I think you got a hell of a point there about he want to kill the business. That he want to be, I always felt he want to be the last of the Mohegans.
Wow.
He want wrestling to leave with him. He do not want to leave it.
Wow.
My wife said something to me
Wow.
one time. She said,
That's like megalomaniac.
well, yeah, but when
What?
Vince Sr. father told Vince Jr.,
Okay.
the only way you're going to get this business is from my cold dead hand. And I don't think he want to leave the business. My wife said, to a stranger. See, when Vince is no longer here, that's Triple H business. So you may have a hell of a freaking point about that. Muncher, what is your opinion on something like what he just said?
Well, man, I got a lot of opinions about how much time we got on this show, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even watch today's product because I cannot take somebody that looks like, the person that bagged my groceries at the supermarket wearing a title, and calling himself a heavyweight. You're not a heavyweight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're 150 pounds, and they're probably exaggerating that by 30 pounds.
Yeah.
How did
You
you
know,
guys feel when Rey Mysterio won the world heavyweight
That's
title?
different.
Ray is
See,
different.
Explain
Yeah.
why. Explain. I understand. I get it. But,
I don't think
but-
so.
Okay. Why don't you wait a minute? 2.0 is supposed to be cohesive. What's going on?
He
here?
got bigger arms.
That's right, but I got a bigger mouth, brother.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to
That's
agree.
balance. That's balance. That's balance.
Go ahead, man. Say what you got to say, man.
Take it
Probably
away.
is a good point. Maybe not, but let's
We'll
hear
do
him
point
out.
Where-
point counterpoint.
Right.
Hulkster.
That was one of the-
Randster.
We talked about today's business, yesterday's business,
Yeah.
the great grocery baggers, as opposed to, you walk in a bar and you got guys like Dusty and Murdoch and Wahoo sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Tony Atlas too. These guys are some kind of athletes. They look like
Right.
it. Now you sit next to a bar with a guy on TGI Fridays or something, and you don't know what he is. Okay?
Right.
When that all started with me was when Mysterio beat the Big Show.
Okay.
How can a little 160-pound guy jumping around
Against
beat a
450.
450-pound
I
guy
gotta
who's
agree
supposed
with you
to
on
be the
Okay.
Giants?
Okay.
Remember, he started out as Andre the Giant's son. Remember way back when, and got into
Sure.
it. But
Sure.
Well, that's
to me,
possible.
there's no way.
That's possible because I was there when Hogswallow beat Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
Stop,
So
will
it's
you?
possible.
Hornswoggle. That never should have happened. That was ridiculous.
That's right. and Rey
Hogswallow
Mysterio.
pinned me too.
Why did you let that happen?
I didn't. I couldn't beat him.
Some things are done for,
He's staying with it. He couldn't beat him. The mighty Hornswoggle. Please help me out here, Much.
some things are done, for entertainment. Of course, when you got Hornswoggle, going
Yeah.
over on Mark Henry, obviously it's like a ha-ha type of,
Right.
How about a
course.
guy like Orange Cassidy who doesn't take his hands out of his pockets and he pins you?
You know, I gotta say this, man. From a non-wrestling standpoint, it's entertaining. I think.
Entertainment.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because
Yes.
nobody's ever done that before.
Right.
To see a guy run the ropes and his hands are in his pocket the
True.
whole time and stuff like that, it's kind of, you know,
Different.
I'm not gonna believe if he beats somebody, in a legit match type of situation. But because there's got to be comedy, man. You know, there's got to be comic relief. So he's like a comic relief. You had Santino Marella. You know, he was a great wrestler, but nobody ever knew it because his job was to be funny, and
Right.
he did a great job at it, and he didn't mind.
Why do you guys think that today's generation of fans, look, we got to be realistic about this. Today's generation of fans love this stuff. Why do you think that is, that they love this? They don't mind that the guy is smaller. They don't seem to care whether or not Tony can pick up half the studio and throw it across the street. What is it? What has changed? What do you think it is about today's generation that makes them not care about these sorts of things?
The internet.
Yeah, number one, they're idiots.
Okay.
Right.
Well, don't block, Mach. You're blocking. Don't block. Let us know
Yeah.
how you really feel. Okay.
They are. They wanna be able to. What's the word I'm looking for?
Participate
Well, they
with the
want to
chanting,
see,
maybe, or
they want to see that with something like they want to be wrestlers. They want to be, you know, you got your ordinary, Joe Schmo sitting there on the couch, and they want to be able to be identified,
Right.
with what they see. So it's like, well, if this guy could do it, I could do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in other words, if you're watching someone that's like a superhero, then it's like watching somebody that that you could never be like. But it's like, by watching somebody that doesn't belong on TV, and you don't belong on TV, it's like saying, I could be that guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
where is your cutoff point? For example, what I mean by that is it's well documented that Triple H and Vince felt that Chris Jericho was too small. I never felt that as a fan watching him. I always felt that he was more than, and he played so big. To me, I always saw him as a heavyweight. Where's the cutoff? Where does it go from, he really is too small to, nope, that works for me?
First of all, to answer that question, and here, I understand where both, you see, Hogan came along when I came along. When I first started wrestling, George Scott took me out there and said, see all them people out there, Tony? Everybody out there believe that wrestling is fake. It's your job to prove to them that it's not.
Right.
So my job was to make the people believe. And then what I did, so I would not do anything that was not believable. That's why when Jimmy Slicker came off the top rope, they carried the guy on the stretcher. Because normally people would not believe that a 270-pound man could do that to you. You get up and walk away. When I press slam a guy, I'm 6'2", so a guy's falling 10 feet out there. Even though the person could get up, the people's not going to believe it. Right. Like when Ken Patero lifted against, he was Olympic champion, lifted against superstar Billy Graham. They thought as Patero won, they thought it was fake because how can a guy with all their muscles be weaker than a guy that is kind of chubby? So I understand where he's come from. It's old school to make the people believe. But then I also understand what Macho Man is saying over there. It's like when they look at Macho, they read comic books. All of us grew up reading these comic books.
Sure.
So when they see Macho, they see a real live superhero.
Right.
There's a superhero that they could see, that they could talk. So they don't see Macho Man or Hogan as wrestlers anymore. They see Macho and Hogan as super live superhero. I mean, you read about Batman, but there's no Batman. You read about Santa Claus, but there's no Santa Claus.
Wait a minute.
But
There isn't.
you read about Mancho.
What?
You meet Mancho. You
That's-
read
yeah,
about
that's true.
granted. You can meet these superheroes, and so I think how they see y'all today. To answer all of our questions, they don't see you as wrestlers anymore or entertainers. You guys are like real live superheroes, kind of like in the comic books. I mean, Santa Claus, you're not going to see Batman. We all know that's make believe, but the Mancho, he's not a make believe. He's a real live superhero. Right. Hogan, he's not made up. He's a real live superhero that people could touch and feel and get to know. And they could identify, like Moncha was saying, could identify with being with this superhero.
Gotcha. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with Mega Powers 2.0, brother.
Yeah.
You are watching Atlas and the Pharaoh. See you in a sec.
How much more time?
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monty and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monty and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at montyandthepharaoh.com.
All right.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
You are going to wrestle this weekend at Madison Square Garden.
What?
Cut me a 30-second promo.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden, yeah, MSG, New York City, yeah. Me and Tony Atlas going one-on-one, yeah. And Tony Atlas, you don't stand a chance against the Macho Man, do you? No, you don't. And if you even look at Elizabeth the wrong way, right in the mouth, yeah.
Wonderful. Cut me a promo, brother. You're going to be at the Philly Spectrum.
Well, let me tell you, brother, the Philly Spectrum, September 2nd, Ravish and Randy Hogan, let me tell you, brother, and the Macho Man himself going to team up as Mega Power 2.0 against the World Tag Team Champions, Jimmy Farrow and Mr. USA himself, Tony Atlas. They are big, they're formidable, but there's no way, brother, that they can take on Macho Madness and Randomania running wild. And what are you going to do when the two of us run wild on you, brother?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand on the apron and let him wrestle the match. That's how we won the tag titles. You were in the ring the entire time.
The reason I asked y'all to do that, I'm here to say I doubt there's anybody in the WWE that could do that because y'all ad-lib.
Right.
The last time I was there, they gave me a strip to tell me how to wrestle and what to say. So every word that I say was written by some little 20-year-old kid that just got out of college. And what y'all guys, the talent y'all guys got to cut a promo, it's real. And that what I believe is missing in the business. Yep. I doubt that there's very few wrestlers that is making big money that I say did what I just did when you got cut me a 30-second promo and y'all could just boom. You know, you're in character. You don't stutter. You know what to say, and that's how wrestling was. When I first started, they would say, Tony, you wrestle against a Macho Man, and what you're going to do, you got to go a 15-minute match. And we want to put Macho Man over. Because the heel was in one dressing room, the babyface was in the other dressing room.
Right.
So then I didn't get to talk to him. We had to do it when we got to the ring. We called the match in the ring. We called ad-libbing. We did an interview. The interview was done the same way you guys do it. Macho Man, you're going to wrestle in the Spectrum against Hogan. Hey, I hear that you guys were the best tag team around. Now there's a little heat between you guys. What caused the heat between you and Hogan, Randy?
Well, he's got lust in his eyes, man. We all know the story. Yeah, you do, man. Don't even shake your head. You know you got lust in your eyes.
Don't accuse me of nothing, brother.
No,
Don't
man,
accuse
you
me.
know what I'm saying? You got lust in your eyes for Elizabeth, man, and that ain't gonna fly with me. No, it's not. Yeah, you look into my eyes right now, man, and you understand one thing, man. You understand that Elizabeth is mine. Yeah. Don't even look at my property, man. Don't even look at my
First of all, brother, let's get something straight. I got no lust in my eyes for Miss Elizabeth,
trust in your
But I can't help it if she's got lust in her eyes for me. I can't help it that macho, little
He's
macho
pushing the issue here.
just
I
can't
don't
take
know.
care of business. And
Easy
cannot
march,
match
easy
Grandma
march.
Mania running wild, baby, with the 24-centimeter pythons. That's right, brother. So, don't make me get up. Don't make me get up, brother. Because if I get up, you're going down.
Gentlemen, please, gentlemen, please.
Yeah.
Order.
Don't
We
get me
must
fired
have
up.
order.
Don't get me.
Yes.
Don't make me hook up.
All right, man. I'm gonna be professional right now, yeah. But when the cameras turn off, yeah, man, that's when the action's gonna happen.
Yeah, because y'all got to
So
remain
keep your eye on
friends.
Elizabeth, because she might be knocking on my door tonight.
Y'all got to remain friends because I forgot to tell y'all before I started stirring the pot. Y'all got to, as a tag team, y'all, even though y'all is getting bad about Elizabeth and all this stuff, you two guys got a tag team coming up for the World Tag Team Championship. So y'all how y'all gonna mend things between y'all for the match?
Man, I can't trust him, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust him. If he's got a wandering eyes, if he's got lust in his eyes for Elizabeth, yeah, then he doesn't care about
Yeah,
nothing.
but fellas, this is demolition we're talking about. You guys got to be on the
Got to
same
fight
page.
the axe demolition here.
You got to.
Let me tell you, brother. Elizabeth wanting me over you doesn't matter. Business is business, brother. That's what we're taking care of. We're taking care of business. Demolition, okay? They can put their funny face paint on. They can do what they want. They might be big. They may be muscled up like you. I don't know, brother. But when you drop that elbow off the top rope, I drop the leg across the throat. We get the belts. We get the tags. We don't got to like each other. Elizabeth can pick who she wants. But you and I are going to be the world title holders. And that means money. That means everything else. That means maybe Elizabeth, brother, wants us both, okay? Because we will both be champions. I'm down for that, brother.
Ooh, I don't know.
Can we work together?
Macho, your thoughts, please.
See, here's the deal, man. You said Elizabeth way too many times in that conversation right there. Yeah, I don't even like that name coming out of your mouth. You understand what I'm saying?
It's written on my lips, brother.
Yeah, it's written on your lips. Another thing that's gonna be written on your lips is my fist. Boom! Right there in the mouth.
Fellas,
You don't
fellas.
talk about
Now,
Elizabeth.
Fellas.
Say it now.
The mega
Gotta
powers
be
are
Saturday.
imploding. Good job,
I gotta
Tony.
be sure that you still stay in tune up here, brother. We know you're a little shallow, okay? We know you're focused on Elizabeth because you can't take care of business at home, and I can. But that's okay. We're gonna tag up. We're gonna beat Demolition. We're gonna be the world title holders. Elizabeth can choose who she wants.
Tony, keep these two on the same page, will you? This is greatness here. Save this.
You know what? You know what?
We're partners.
Yeah, we're partners, man. Get one thing straight right now. One thing straight. You ain't never gonna have Elizabeth. And you're never gonna have that title. You know why? Because after I get done beating those guys, I'm gonna beat you, take both belts, take Elizabeth, and we're out of here.
Oh.
Yeah, leaving you with nothing.
Well, let me ask y'all before y'all started ripping
please,
each other apart here. I just
no,
got one
no,
question
not
to ask.
here.
Now y'all know me. I just want to know one thing. What size shoe did she wear? Now y'all can have
Sick,
yes, I am.
sick, retired professional
Yes,
wrestler.
yes.
Sick.
Yes,
Sick.
sick of
Sick man.
it. Y'all,
Wow.
Please,
Huh?
please.
I should have known that was
I
coming.
like the slip-on sneaker. Now I know, Randy, you
March,
like the legs
this is
and
a-
the nice body and
this is out of
and
control.
everything, and I know you like the pretty long hair and everything. Now y'all can have all of that.
He just
But
wants
y'all,
the feet.
After
can't.
after y'all win the
can't.
title, after y'all destroy Axe Demolition, after y'all get the girl, get the money, get the gold, get everything, all that they old Tony asking y'all is let me sniff the shoes.
You're sick.
I don't know, brother. He's onto something. I think we should worry about him, not each other.
You know what? I think you're right.
You
I
brought them
think the
back
main
together.
thing that we need to do, man, forget about the jealousy, man. Forget about the lust in your eyes, and forget about the titles. What we need to do is we need to get Elizabeth's shoe. Yeah, we need to get Elizabeth's shoe and bring it right
Get the
over
shoe,
to Tony
baby.
Ellis. But here's something you need to know. She wears a size 12.
Oh,
You can't tell on TV, but she's got really big clown feet.
oh, you're killing it, Monster.
Relax.
Oh, you're killing it.
I'm serious, man.
She got big feet.
Yeah, don't you like that?
Yeah,
Big-
but
and toes like claws.
Wait a second. Are her toenails at least not?
Tony, collect yourself, please.
Yeah, you all right?
No.
Collect yourself.
Tony, okay.
She's got claws and they go into the ground.
oh,
Like
Are these
you know,
toenails like green? Does she at least wash her feet? They're full of toe jam.
fungus.
That's
I'm just
rough.
saying that I've seen her climb a tree.
Oh, no.
I've seen her climb a tree.
Boy, oh boy! Oh
with
my
no
God!
shoes.
Oh my God! Tony, I think on that note, we're going to take this train back onto the
There
track
you
and
go.
go home
Sweet
now.
dreams, brother. You
Oy.
like that, huh? You're gonna be dreaming about Elizabeth's feet.
Guys, I want to thank you both for coming down.
Y'all great.
Absolutely,
great.
mega powers. So
Thank
where
you
you
for
guys?
having
Where you
us.
guys going to be this weekend, please? Or you guys got anything going on?
Everywhere.
Go ahead, Mach.
You want the
ESS.
ESS, we got the
Come on in,
manager right
ESS.
there,
Yeah, why not? Bring
Here
him
he
in.
is.
brother.
Have a seat.
Oh, yeah.
We got the.
By the way, he's wearing Elizabeth's sleep shirt right now. Just so you know.
I was just about to say, don't let anything come between you two, but apparently Eric already has. All right, that's
It's a
great.
good thing they're sitting between us right now.
It's a good thing.
Anyway, this is your cult hero. It's ESS. And from tonight, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, just down the road in Comac, Long Island, New York. Not only it's the Mega Powers 2.0 and Sabu, but also Tony Atlas.
Yes.
We're at the Wrestling Universe, the Long Island store. Then tomorrow, the big one, it's Legends of the Ring. That's right, Legends of the Ring tomorrow, APA Hotel, Island, Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not only is it Tony Atlas, not only is it Sabu, but the Mega Powers. for the
Mega
first
Power,
time ever
baby.
Collide right for you in Woodbridge, Island, New Jersey. Then after that, all of us, the whole crew, we're going down to the SWF show. That's in Homedale, New Jersey at the Homedale Motor Inn. The Mega Powers explode. Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be there. Just Incredible, Sabu. And who else knows who's going to show up?
Hey, Eric, before we go, do the other side of Eric Sims.
I
That's
got
the
it. Wait a
one
second.
that number- I saw it today, just now.
Wait a second.
channel
Wait a second. Wait,
He's
we'll
got
get
two
to-
sides
I
to
didn't finish the
Earth
plugs
Sim.
yet. I didn't finish the plugs yet.
Uh-oh.
Sunday, Allentown Pro Wrestling World at the Fire Hall. I forgot the name of the fire hall, but it's the Fire Hall on 7th Street in Allentown.
Look for the big red
Pennsylvania.
engine.
The Mega Powers, Tony Atlas, 911, Sabu. You know, we're all gonna be there. And then ECW Day, Sabu.
Eric, do the dark side before we run out of town.
I got it.
Do it.
Anyway, legends never die. Just want to make it clear. Legends never die till they do. So come out and support us before it's too late.
Excellent. Thank you very much, ESS. Thank you, Mr. Hogan, Mr. Savage in my mind. There we go, the Macho Man. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Tony.
Uh,
You've been watching Atlas and the Pharaoh, normally Monty and the Pharaoh, seen every Thursday at 9 o'clock. And until next time.
there it is. Look at those guns,
Later.
man.
Hot dog and a handshake days we joke about.
Right.
That wasn't no joke, brother. That was, and it drove 3 hours to get there. But so I went back the next week, and he says, "You know what? Now this is early '80s." He says, "You kind of look like that Hogan guy." Now Hulk was just Hulkamania
started,
was just being
yeah.
born.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
You just won the belt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he said, "We're going to call you Hal Hogan, and you're going to be his cousin." I says, "Okay." So I thought about it. I said, "You know, I don't mind the Hogan thing, but I don't want to be Hal because I don't know who the hell they're talking
You said
about.
this was 1980?
Yeah, like 81.
81,
right
yeah.
in there, yeah. And he says, okay, you can be Randy. So because of this little bar, a hot dog and a handshake, I was given the Randy Hogan name.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
You never felt pigeonholed by it as the years went on. Did you?
yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah.
The yes part is because I only got so far in the business. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was different back in the territory days.
Of course it was.
A lot more work
yeah,
and everything else. But doing the Hogan thing, you go and you watch other guys that are on the matches, and you go watch them into the house, and they introduce you to a promoter, and that's kind of how you progress and get jobs from this guy, that guy, and the other. Well, then I was in a match once, and I built up, and because of the Hogan gimmick, now I was still whatever they wanted me to be. His cousin, his uncle, his brother, I don't care. Pin me, pay me.
There you go.
So I was up in I was wrestling, and the main event had this self-proclaimed 40-year veteran Alabama junior heavyweight champion, Mike Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the main event. And, he was on TV. It's jobber, enhancement, whatever. So I said, how do you get on TV, Mike? And he says, well, I actually bring guys up. He says, I can't guarantee you anything, but if you want to drive up with us. They were doing tapings at TBS Studios in Atlanta every Wednesday, 3 hours. So I went on my very first TV match was a tag against the Warlord and the Barbarian.
Oh wow. Okay.
Warlord picked me up in one of his presses. I'd never been so high in my life, okay? And they turned me over, and I landed correct. I just wanted to jump up and say, yeah, that was great.
So you enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah.
Do it
I did.
again. Thank
So
you,
I-
sir. May I
yeah.
have another?
So I sold it.
I want to get him in a little bit, if you don't mind.
Macho.
Macho, yeah. How? Now I'm sitting here looking at you.
Right?
You
It's
jack,
uncanny.
brother.
It's uncanny.
You are freaking jacked
It's uncanny.
out of this freaking world. Before you get into how you got started, like Hogan did, can you give the fans just a glimpse idea of what regiment you did? Because everybody's body is different. I may have did one thing in my day to develop myself. Hulk Hogan did something in his day to develop himself. The Ultimate Warrior have another workout. What was your way of training? And once you explain that, can you do pretty much the same thing that the Hogan did? Kind of explain what got you into the business and who helped you to get started in this. But I'm interested to know myself. How in the hell you get to look like that? You jack, bro.
Man, this is coming from somebody who's twice my size. Man, I'm trying to get like you, brother. Man, you see those arms right there?
Well, all you gotta do is get fat, bald-headed, black, and ugly. You look just like me.
Well, I'm halfway there. Don't worry about that. But here's the deal.
God.
As far as what I do is a lot of trial and error, man. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for a long time. Tried every diet under the sun. Every supplement, every type of workout, and the thing is, man, you got to find what works for you.
Right.
And that's only going to happen through years and years of trial and error. And basically what I found is a lot of supplements, most supplements for bodybuilding are a crock of shit.
Really?
Yeah, none of it's FDA approved.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a
FDA
big
approved.
supplement guy. I believe in, the standard protein powder. I
Right.
take some pre-workout to get me going. Some branched chain aminos. You know what I mean? The powder mix. I drink that during my workout. So basically, man, the only supplements that I take is before I work out, during my workout, and after I work out. It's
Right.
pretty much I got my protein before and after, and I have my aminos during, and throw in a pre-workout to get me going. But everything else, man, if you're eating right, if your diet is on point, you don't need supplements, because that's
How
what
many
they
days
are.
a week you normally put into the gym?
I actually try to go 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, because mentally, I try to stay on a routine of like, okay, you know.
So you work each muscle like twice a week or once a week? Like my old routine when I first started on Monday was Monday and Thursday I push. I did chest, shoulders, and tries on Monday and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday I usually do back and buys, and on Wednesday was Wednesday, Saturday was legs. So I used to do 6. I have cut it back here lately to only 4 days a week, and eventually I'm gonna cut it down to 3 because I'm getting up there in age. But like for example, what were your repetition range? Was it 8 to 10 or 10 to 15 or all 10s, or and how many sets you normally would do in a workout?
Well, the first part of that question, the 7 days a week is basically I do one body part each day. The other days I'll do cardio. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'll do, you know, chest on, you know, Monday, and then Tuesday is back, you know, like that, and then
Right.
you know, the other days just to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll do abs. I'll do cardio. Sometimes I'll go in and I'll just do forearms or something just to get me to go 7
Right.
days.
Right.
Because mentally, it helps me to go 7 days because it's like, you know how easy it is. That
Yeah.
You can go 7 days or you go 6 days and then you take that one day off and then Monday comes and it's hard to get back in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird
Yeah.
like that, but I try not to let that happen. As far as my workouts go,
Well, were you training before you got into the business, or it was something you really got involved after you got into business?
to be honest with you, I started training because I wanted to look like a wrestler, because I wanted to be a wrestler. And I thought that the first thing that I need to do is look the part, which kind of goes ignored these days. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not even going to get started on that right
That's
now.
right.
But, you know,
Preach it,
before
brother.
getting in, what's that?
Preach it, brother.
Oh,
Guys,
Sneak up on me, I didn't-
hold that thought. We're going to be going to a commercial.
Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monty and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monty and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at montyandthepharaoh.com.
We got to meet his partner last week.
Yes,
in
we
an
did.
Incredible interview.
You got to meet
And
his
now
manager, too, in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we finally get to meet this icon,
Finally.
ECW legend Sabu. How are you, sir? Nice.
Tell you the truth, I've been better. I'm not great.
Not great?
Not great.
Let's get into it. Why aren't you great?
My back hurts. My wife died a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Kind of shit like that.
Our condolences.
Would
yeah.
you mind talking about Melissa at all?
We could talk a little bit if you want to.
Well, let's have at it. Could you maybe you could tell us what kind of person Melissa was?
She was a great person. She kept me in line. If it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be today. She saved my life a few times, and I couldn't save hers. I tried. She was a great person. Still, you know, she was great.
How did you guys meet?
I met her about 15, 20 years ago in L.A. In passing, and then I met her again 2007 in WWE, and then I met her again 6 years ago when these guys were bullying her on the internet, talking shit about her, saying that she had sex with me and all this stuff back 20 years ago, and we didn't. We got stuck in the same hotel room, but I was a perfect gentleman, and she even said I was. I let her sleep in the bed, I slept in the chair. And then the guy who put us in the room together tried to say that we had sex together to cause some kind of stir some shit. And so they were bullying her 20 years later about this. So I got on there and said, hey, you guys, this ain't true. It's bullshit. Boom, boom, boom. Leave her alone. And they did. And then we became friends, and then we started dating.
What do you think about the internet? Because I don't really sense that you're an internet. I'm not much of an internet kind of guy. How do you feel about the internet, where anybody can just hop on a keyboard and say
I resisted it for so many years. Now I'm with it. About 2 years ago, I said some shit on Twitter, thinking, who's going to listen to me? And they listened to me and got me suspended off Twitter for a little bit.
Oh, he's been suspended too.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There we go.
We were recently suspended over COVID-19 comments with Mr.
Really?
Hyatt. Yeah,
Wow.
they
Well, I got suspended over racist, homophobic comments or something like that. And who doesn't have those or thoughts of those?
Understood.
Anybody who says they're not a racist or a little bit of a racist is lying.
Right.
Everybody's a little bit of a racist. When you go to jail, if you're not a racist, you're dead. You got to go to your own race. You got to go Mexican, black, white, whatever. You can't stick alone. You have to choose a side, and that side happens to be a race. Now I don't really think I'm a bad racist. I'm just an honest racist. I don't really even consider myself a racist. I'm just a realist.
I understand what you're saying. It's funny.
Sounds honest to me.
You're actually throwing me off because when I was getting ready for work this morning, I started thinking about racism and conversations that I have with people, like your example. And it really had to do with Hulk Hogan, right? Because we were talking about something on last night's show, and people were bringing up comments what Hogan had said, and I was thinking to myself,
what he said behind closed, if just like a magician, even though what he's doing is a trick, he's not going to tell you that it's a trick. Right. Why would he tell you it's a trick?
Right.
That's his trick.
Were you upset when the curtain call happened, the infamous curtain call at the Garden? Did that piss you off?
Yes, of course it did.
Okay.
I don't like, I don't like people knowing my tricks or know that it is a trick.
Absolutely.
So when I wrestled. When I went to ECW and FMW, I practiced so much to make it look so real and not be real. And not hurt nobody.
Oh, yeah.
And I hurt myself way more than I ever hurt anybody.
I believe
I always put myself in danger before my opponent. Even John Cena said, "Yeah, I heard that you hurt yourself before you hurt me." I go, "Yeah, you're right." He goes, "Well, I respect that." And I said, "Well, thank you." Yeah. And when I wrestled John Cena, everybody said he was a crowbar, the shits, that he's hard to work with. He was excellent.
There you go.
He was excellent.
He
actually let me lead the match.
Soft hands?
Yes.
Nice.
So interesting you speak about kayfabe. There's a fan out there, PJ Taints. He has a good question, but I'm going to kind of change different format. He said he saw you on Dark Side of the Ring last night. You look great. Your feelings on Dark Side of the Ring, and as a legend like yourself, are you worried about going on those type of shows now, considering how they're trying to kind of turn?
Hey, look what happened to Tommy.
I am now, since this stuff with Tommy and Van Dam, they said that they should have stood up and helped the stewardess or the flight attendant. And I agree, they should have. Someone should have helped her. Fuck Ric Flair. I'd never liked him anyways. He's a cocksucker, And I'll say it to his face, and I'll say it to his ass. I'll say it anywhere I see him. And someone should have stopped him, And if that's what he does, because I seen him do that stuff in the hotel room. As soon as he gets to the hotel, he gets drunk and gets naked. But that's kind of okay. He didn't corner somebody who didn't want to be cornered. Anybody in his room, they deserve to be cornered. But on an airplane, that was different, and nobody helped this woman. I almost cried for her.
What did you feel about Tommy's comments, though, that he felt it was like boys just being the boys?
Right.
I mean, what was your feeling on that?
I don't know. He should have did something. If he's such that good of a guy, and I know he is, he should have did something. Same with Van Dam. I'm disappointed in both of them. They should have did something.
Well, to be fair, right? Flair's a legend in the industry. You don't want to step on him because who knows what he'll do to you.
He's running around an airplane naked.
Right.
Step on him. What are you talking about?
Do you think
you
that
cover him up? You put him back in the seat. You chain him down so you can't do that. You're in public.
Why does Ric Flair feel like he has a right to do this type of stuff all the time?
I don't know. He gets drunk and believes his own hype. He believes what he's the best worker there is, but he's not the best wrestler. The best wrestler is Kurt Angle. But Flair's like the best worker. You got to remember, working is not fighting.
Right.
If I resist you, work isn't shit.
Right.
Now I consider myself a good worker, but a better fighter. But I haven't had to prove that very much because people, you don't have to. It's a business.
Sure.
We're not in the background. We're not in the playground. We're in a ring.
It's not a sport of tough
business.
guys, right? In that essence, you're not really fighting, right? So you're there to take care of each other and entertain the fans that want to see you.
And even though if I don't like you, I trust you to not hurt me on purpose. And I've been hurt on purpose many times.
Really?
Many times. And first started, it was do as little as possible for as long as possible to get paid as much as possible.
True.
And I changed it to do as much as possible in a little amount of time as possible for a little money. Not do it for the money, to do it for the business.
Wow, that's knowledge right there, man. Thank you. That is an incredible statement. And you know what? Who can argue that? You have changed the business.
Yep.
Well, that one thing I will brag about, that I changed the work rate. That I did.
Absolutely. Huge fan. We are huge fans of Vince McMahon Jr. Thoughts on Vince McMahon Jr. and have you ever run across him in a certain way where you actually spoke to him and things like that?
My problem with him was he wanted to have a personal relationship with me. Well, that's fine, but he's not like somebody who I'd hang out with. like I'll talk business with him during business hours. I wouldn't chit chat with him about something, about anything other than business. And so he took offense to that. Whenever I would see him, I'd kind of like would go the other direction just so I wouldn't have to talk to him. I didn't think you had to kiss somebody's ass to do your job.
Right.
I figured if you do your job, that's kissing ass
Wait a minute.
enough.
So you felt that he was looking for you to do the proverbial ass kissing when you
Yes,
ran across
of
him,
course.
and then you just veered out because you didn't want any part of that
'Cause
situation?
I watched everybody. They were acting big, they're bow-chested big, and then when they see Vince, boom, they drop right back down and start kissing his ass right away. Right away, like completely changed their whole character. Disappointed me in them.
That must have
big time
annoyed
disappointment.
you big
and I wouldn't
time.
do that. And I got a little advice from somebody who said, "Yeah, fake it." I said, "But I can't fake it. I can't fake it. I could fake it once, but I can't keep this up." He's not somebody who I'd hang out with, so I can't fake it.
Shit, I could fake it.
That
kind of money, I can fake the shit.
I can't fake nothing.
Shining his shoes.
But if I have to fake it, that's too much work, and I don't like work. I rather what I consider is not work. It comes natural to me. When it comes work, I don't like it. Like what I didn't like about WWE was it was scripted. Everything was scripted. I understand that for guys who don't have the right frame of mind to put together a good match. I understand that. But I do. I was wrestling 20 years when they hired me, so I thought they were hiring Sabu for 20 years of experience, not for a body. But they were hiring me for a body. They wanted me to do what I was told and do it their way. And I don't mind doing things what I'm told, but if it's not things that I would do, I would speak up. I go, Sabu wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do that, And they go, well, we don't care what you would do. We care what you're gonna do. You're gonna do it, even if you've never done it before. So I would tell them stuff I was gonna do during the match, then I wouldn't do it on purpose. I didn't like telling people my tricks before I did them. Even Vince, I didn't like telling them.
Right.
So I would give them like they would want a play-by-play before the match, and I'd give them a fake play-by-play and then change it in the ring. Not even change it, just do the other stuff in the ring that I thought was right. Because when I first started wrestling, a good worker was considered a good worker by how he reacted on his feet, not how good he remembered something. We didn't care if you could remember a spot or not, as long as you could do the right thing at the right time. That's what counted,
Tommy Dreamer and Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
So I really think the fans should hear, because I think Sabu's got something to say beyond that. So the conversation was, Pharaoh asked, Dreamer was young, Rob Van Dam was young.
On the flight, back
Just
then.
giving a recap so then we could turn it over to Sabu.
Sure.
They probably were afraid, and Sabu said, well,
Because of the veterans.
I get it.
The veterans
I
on the
get
plane.
it, but if it was me,
Right.
I would have
He would have
done something.
He would have done something.
And then Pharaoh said, well, you're homicidal, genocidal, and
And suicidal.
And suicidal.
Yeah. And he said,
he said, not really.
Don't say that. No, he did not say that. Now don't fib. Sabu actually said, yes, I
It's
am.
a work. It's a work.
No, it's a work.
work.
I can't anymore. Can
So anyway,
can
you're
I
going to
smoke
continue
live
on.
the air?
Let's not lose your train of thought.
I wrestled in Las Vegas for the first time about 15 years ago, and the promoter comes to me. He goes, "How many tables do you need?" I go, "I just need one." And the guy I'm wrestling goes, "Oh, I need a couple." I go, "For what?" He goes, "I'm gonna give you a power driver off the ring." I go, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Well, you're crazy." I go, "That's a work." I said, "You're crazy thinking I'm crazy." I go, who the hell's gonna take that?
Can I ask you this? A legend like yourself, and then you're working with some of these young guys. Isn't that like against the rules of wrestling for a young guy to even approach a legend like
Yes.
yourself and say, "I want to do this"?
Yes,
They
or tell me a spot
Yeah.
that tell me their spot they want me to do without me asking them.
Right.
Yes, that's out of place. It's disrespectful.
We lost New Jack. Can you talk about New Jack a little
Very
bit?
good friend of mine.
And tell us the type of person.
He wasn't as bad as people thought. Me and him have always been on a good level. Even when one time, a funny story is, he was saying, "Motherfuck everybody in this dressing room. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, but not you, Sabu. Fuck you, fuck." I said, "All right, then, I got you
down the line. He said, not you.
He goes, "Fuck everybody, but not you, Sabu."
Oh, my
That
God.
is great.
But a New Jack, his stuff was blown out of proportion. He wasn't he wasn't as bloodthirsty as people thought. It was a work. It was a work.
He was working the shit
So
out of us.
if he really wanted to stab
Smart
somebody,
man.
he wouldn't stab him in the forehead. He'd
So
stab him in the stomach.
Let me ask.
And he'd do it in the dressing room.
Let me ask you this question, and again, answer it to the way you want to answer it. Tony Atlas is here. a good friend of the show, actually has a program on our channel along with some other wrestlers. He'll be interviewing Mega Powers 2.0 with the Pharaoh, as
Correct.
I'll be stepping away. But anyway,
Correct.
New Jack, well known for ripping Atlas apart on a lot of shoot interviews. Do you believe that's a total work, or do you think
It's a half work.
half a work?
half a work.
It's half work. Like it's called shooting from the hip. It's or shooting on the square. Like it's a joke, but still, it's kind of true.
A little reality based.
Yes.
With over the top.
But blown out of proportion.
So when you say Ric Flair is a piece of shit, is that over the top, or is that just a straight?
That's a little over the top. I just don't like him. He didn't like me. He doesn't like me. I don't like him, and that's it.
But why doesn't he like you? What did you do?
I don't know.
He just flat out said, "I don't like you."
I'd come into a dressing room, shake everybody's hand. I'd go to shake his hand. He'd turn around.
Wow.
Or he'd come in and shake everybody's hand and skip me. For some reason, I don't know why. So I stopped putting my hand out for him. I go, okay, I get it. He don't want to be friendly to me. That's fine. But don't be rude to me either. You know.
Do you think that and again, speculation, you think maybe he didn't like your style? And
I don't know. He's a jealous prick. And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't give a fuck if he was here or not. I'll tell him to his face. He's a jealous prick. And he doesn't need to be. He's on top. He's the best. He's the best worker there is. But he still wants to cut down the lower guys or not give them a chance.
Well, the Sheik was your trainer, right?
Yes.
He was an old school guy. Did he explain that to you? Like, don't let anyone take your spot? Did he try to say that?
Well, he said, don't let anybody take your spot. Don't slack on your spot, but don't step on nobody, and don't do anybody wrong to get ahead, because then you're not really getting ahead. I want to be better than the next guy on an even playing field. I don't want to be better than him if he's being held back. And scripts from Vince, I go, if I did this, I wouldn't be proud of myself. So how about I do this? And I use that for the promo. Like, I'm not going to use your promo. I'm not going to read your script. And they didn't like it. They actually fired me from it.
Wow.
Wow.
How did you find Stephanie McMahon to be as a person?
She was okay to my face. Behind my back, she was a cunt. You know,
Oh.
behind my back, she motherfuckered the hell out of me. But
Really?
to my face, she was the nicest girl in the world.
Shane?
What's
Any
that?
thoughts on Shane McMahon? Shane?
Shane's very nice too. I never heard him ever say anything bad about me, but I'm sure he did. But he's he's a worker like his dad. He's a baby face to your face, and then he's a heel behind your back. I think. But Shane, to my face, utmost respect. You know, what can I say?
Okay.
So one thing we didn't ask you, do you respect Vince McMahon Jr.?
Yes. I don't dislike him or hate him or nothing like that, but he actually even said to me I was better than he thought and that I was better than anybody else, better than everybody else. He actually said that to my face, but then still questioned every spot I did. Like, I said, how can you say I'm better than this guy if you don't even let me show you how I can continue to be better or continue to be good?
Right.
He still said, you're better than the next guy, but I still want you to do this. You know,
All right, so we're out of time.
I'm sorry.
What?
So
Boo!
we have something called the Pharaoh's Final Question, where he.
It killed me.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been an honor. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you for asking me.
Thank you, Sabu.
One thing I would ask you, just if you could end the show with, is if you could just share your final thoughts about Melissa on the show again for us. We'd like you to share your final thoughts about Melissa on the show, and maybe,
I miss her every second. I think about her and what happened every minute. And I don't deserve to be happy because of what happened to her. I thought she could be I thought she couldn't be in anybody's better hands than mine. And she died on my watch. So I have to punish myself for that. And I don't know. I think about it all the time, and I can't help it. And even the doctors say, even in a hospital setting, she wouldn't have been able to be saved because her heart was so bad. But we didn't know that, and I still think I should have saved her. I should have saved her. I tried, but it didn't work. You know, the CPR. I tried so hard. I pissed myself when I was doing it, and it didn't work. It didn't help her, and I will always punish myself for that. I don't know why, but I don't know why exactly. But I feel that I should have saved her. I should have saved her. I don't care what anybody says about hospital setting or whatever. She died in my watch, and I will punish myself for the time for that.
Sabu, I hope when you having those rough times, you at least try to remember how many people love you. What an amazing person we can now say you are, because we got a chance to finally meet you. And I'm sure Melissa would want you to be very happy to the best of your abilities the rest of the way, my brother.
It's hard for me to even smile without her.
I understand.
We got you.
I understand.
I can't smile without her. I didn't smile much with her anyways, but I really can't without her.
We just got to remember too, man, is that you loved her unconditionally. She loved you unconditionally, and
that's
you
very
know
hard
what?
to come
She
by.
knew when we got together. She knew I was broke, and it didn't mean nothing to her.
There you go.
That was material to her, and I thought the same thing. So I'm broke, so what? But most people go, "Oh, you're broke. Fuck you." But she didn't. She goes, "You're broke. So what? We'll fix it," and we were fixing it, and it is fixed now. I just wish she was here with me. And here she is, but I just wish she was physically here with me. I'll never forgive myself.
Well, we're going to end this show with this.